tip off their season on Thursday. Many believe Lonzo Ball will be healthy to start after knee surgery, with Zoe posting this monster dunk on Instagram to back up those claims, boys.
And that's some explosiveness right there. Coming off the knee, that's impressive. That's really impressive, man. That was really...
I'm looking forward to him and LeBron. I believe LeBron's going to have a tremendous effect on his career, on and off the court. Man, great combination. Looking forward.
People are going to realize what a good athlete Lonzo is.
Which got masked in all the noise of
and just
family.
His style of play also. His style of play isn't one that necessarily always shows off his athleticism, but he's going to catch the
But that's one of the first things you saw when we went to Poly Pavilion. You're like, man, this guy, not only is he long, Chris, 6'5", almost 6'6", but, man, he is a really good athlete. Yes, very athletic.
And a smart athlete. He's a very smart basketball.
High basketball IQ.
Yeah.
Agreed, Jenna.
Time for stories to start your morning. Todd Gurley ran for a career-best 208 rushing yards, 3 scores, and most importantly, the win on Sunday against the Broncos. His teammate Robert Woods called Gurley unstoppable. The Rams improved to a lead at 6-0. See, how big is the gap between the Rams and the rest of the NFC?
Oh, I think it's significant. It's significant because there's a lot of teams out there that can score, but typically they have either they can't throw the ball as well or the running attack is not. But them lining up with 3 receivers on the field at all times, for most of about 90% of the time, and Todd Gurley, as Fink said, wanting to thunder punch you, McVay calling the plays. Man, this is the most dangerous team, not only in the NFC, but in the NFL.
Every other team in the league has at least one glaring weakness. The Rams just have a slight weakness, outside pass rush.
Yeah.
They don't have everyone else with the same...
But they got a ferocious inside pass rush.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, there isn't any one thing where, like, if we play the Rams, got to take advantage of this weakness. That's why they're the best team in the NFC and the best team in the league.
It's like one of the girl's beautiful, Jenna, but she wears glasses. No problem. I got a doctor, get her some contacts.
I wear glasses.
That's why he said
but
that.
you're still attractive. You don't throw away the pack. It's just...
So I can come back tomorrow. Moving on to the losing team in that contest, the Broncos, who have now dropped 4 straight. Denver's head coach Vance Joseph said, quote, "Everyone is fighting for our lives." See, how bad are things in Denver right now?
Things are better here, Jenna. Things are better here. The Denver Broncos, as a franchise, there's so much respect. Like, they do things the right way. But John Elway, man, he got it wrong. This ain't the first time either he's gotten it wrong. This head coach, I don't believe that he is head coaching material for the Denver Broncos. I'd be shocked if their head coach makes it through the end of the regular season.
John Elway needs to borrow these Jenna Wolf glasses in this upcoming draft when he's going to be picking his quarterback to replace Jenna Wolf's guy.
While you're sitting there playing with glasses, there's fans out there saying, that's an upgrade. Hey, Nick Wright looks good with glasses on. Holla, holla.
I used to wear... Don't get me started on me and not wearing glasses. I wore glasses I didn't even need because I thought it was a good look on TV. Chris Carter told me to take them off a year and a half ago. One of the many things I listened to you on that I shouldn't have. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I want the ball.
Your wife told you not to wear glasses.
That is not accurate.
Let's talk some basketball.
Your wife said grow some hair.
Erroneous.
Warriors begin their quest to win their 3rd straight NBA title tonight. They host the Thunder, who'll be without Russell Westbrook as he recovers from knee surgery. All right, Nick, what are you looking for in this game?
I'd like to see Paul George, and most importantly, I would like to see Steven Adams, who to me was a little disappointing last year. He had the ability to be a game changer against most teams. The Warriors are playing at almost a different level than everyone else. But Steven Adams' defensive presence and physicality can be a game changer. I thought last year he didn't really find his way with Melo being the 3rd option, so I'm going to watch him with Russ being out.
This is only going to be hard for me. I'm going to be up watching, but I ain't going to be watching as intently. It's not the most exciting world champion ring ceremony as far as OKC, because Russ is not there. You bring Russ there with that edge and everything, that makes it a little bit different. I'm more interested to see what kind of design they have for the rings. Does Golden State come out, and what do they look like?
It's a shame that one of the 2 times Golden State's going to play in Oklahoma City this year, one of them Russ isn't there. It's just bad luck with the timing of his knee surgery.
All right, we'll end with the first game of the season, Sixers at Celtics, a rematch of the Eastern Conference semifinals last season. A healthy Boston team hosting young and hungry Philly. Nick, are these the two teams to beat in the East this season?
I believe they are, but I do not want to forget about Toronto, a Toronto team that had the 1 seed last year and got better. Like when you flip out DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard and you bring Danny Green along with him, you got better. But yes, I believe these are the two best teams. What you have is what I think is the best starting lineup in the East in Philadelphia against the deepest team in the East in Boston. You also have the best coach in the East in Boston. This is most people's pick for the Eastern Conference Finals, and most everyone has the Celtics winning that matchup. I'm a man on an island thinking Philly's going to be the best team, but these are definitely the two best teams.
Right, there's a few things that I want to watch. Kyrie Irving, how does he flow with Jason Tatum and these young players now that Kyrie's back being healthy? Because when Kyrie played with these players before, they weren't the same players. They didn't have the same experience, and maybe they knew, but we didn't see how they could play on such a high level. How does that transition with Kyrie tapping the ball? You know, is he going to give up the ball? How does the offense run? Joel Embiid in the post for them, is he... I listened to Brett Brown, the interview. He said Joel Embiid's going to play more physical, like an old-style center. He will play on the perimeter and shoot some threes, but he will be in the paint, and Markelle Fultz being the point guard. As athletic as he is, what does he bring to that 76ers? I think it's the right move by putting him in the starting lineup, and their lack of a bench, Nick, concerns you going forward.
Listen, they lost a couple of those guys that were so key for them last year, Marco Bellinelli, Ersan Ilyasova, two guys they picked up at the buyout, not even at the trade deadline, the buyout date last year, who were key parts of their rotation. Those guys are gone. They didn't really replace them. They drafted a kid from Wichita State, Landry Shamet, who's supposed to be able to shoot threes, but you can't rely on a late drafted rookie as to be part of a championship rotation. On the Boston side of things, Kyrie Irving nor Gordon Hayward have ever played with this version of Jason Tatum. And that's one thing I'm really excited to see.
This version being...
elite level NBA star, Jason Tatum.
Emerging superstar.
Yeah, like Gordon, obviously, he only played a couple minutes last year before he broke his leg. But Tatum really came into his own once Kyrie got hurt, and the offense had to run through him.
Yeah, Nick is saying that he's playing at such a high level last year. It's a guy who requires plays called and a certain number of shots before you even start the game. Like, we got to get this guy off. He's never played with that version. How did him and Kyrie?
But will he get all that with these two back on the court?
I think, listen, this is going to be the hardest juggling act for Brad Stevens.
Yeah, it's harder for Brad and harder for Kyrie. Gordon Hayward's only been the guy 1 year in his NBA career, and he knows that. Compared to Kyrie, he's always been a dominant ball handler. So it's something they got to work out. It's rich people problem.
It is. It's absolutely rich people problems, but it's one of the reasons the Celtics have such a bright future is to see Tatum and Jaylen Brown continue on this upward trajectory. Now, obviously, you want your two All-Stars back in Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, but this is where the best coach in basketball, or the second best coach to pop, Brad Stevens, has his work cut out for him as far as making sure you're doing what's best for your team in the here and now, and also looking to the development of your two future stars, Tatum and Brown.
All right, let's get back to some football now. The latest with Le'Veon Bell is definitely one of the more interesting chapters in this saga. Earlier this month, reports were that Bell, who's been holding out all season, would show up sometime this week. The thinking was that he'd show up in Week 7, the Steelers' bye week, get paid, and then actually play in Week 8. But now reports are